America built its wealth on a simple promise: that competition creates progress, and that opportunity belongs to anyone willing to take it. But systems don't fail loudly. They adjust, they align, and eventually they stop competing. And when that happens, control no longer looks like control.
This wasn't flagged as a risk.
It wasn't supposed to be.
Railroads, utilities, manufacturing, all expanding at the same time.
That's consistent with growth cycles.
No. Growth doesn't move this cleanly. Different industries, different pressures, different capital structures, they don't peak together unless something's forcing alignment.
You're suggesting coordination?
I'm suggesting control.
That would require shared leverage.
Exactly.
Let's break it down properly. If industries are moving together, then the cause isn't operational. Their operations differ, costs differ, supply chains differ, demand cycles differ. The only thing that can synchronize them is capital.
So we're not looking at industries.
We're looking at who funds them. All right, start with major issues. Railroad expansion, funded through these houses. Industrial expansion, same houses. Public utilities, no difference.
That's concentration.
Not unusual at scale.
No. This is tighter than scale. These aren't just participants. They're everywhere.
If that's true, then influence isn't spread, it's centralized.
And if influence is centralized, then the market isn't deciding outcomes.
The capital is.
This doesn't stop here.
No, this is just where it shows up.
Then we follow it through. What we saw earlier wasn't scale, it was structure. These corporations, they appear independent, but they're not behaving independently.
No, they aren't. The same individuals are sitting inside multiple corporations simultaneously, not occasionally, systematically. Take any major sector, railroads, banking, steel, telecommunications. You don't find separate leadership, you find overlap. A director in a railroad is also a director in the bank financing it. The same individual sits on the board of the company supplying it steel, and often on the board of the company consuming that output.
So influence isn't external, it's embedded.
It runs through them. This isn't coordination between companies, it's alignment within them. There's a fundamental rule: no man can serve two masters. But here, they serve all of them. And once that happens, competition doesn't need to be destroyed because it has nowhere to exist.
Okay, walk me through it.
Start simple. A railroad needs capital, so it issues bonds and sells them to a banking house. That banking house isn't just an intermediary. Its partners sit on the railroad's board and also on the board of the institution financing the purchase.
So the money is coming from inside the same circle.
Exactly. In fact, it never really leaves it. The bonds are then sold to an insurance company, whose directors are also part of the same network. The railroad now has capital, so it spends. It buys steel from a steel company with overlapping leadership. That steel company generates revenue and buys electrical equipment from an electrical company connected to the same circle. Those companies supply telephone or communication systems, which serve railroads, again within the same network. Every transaction feeds another company within the same structure.
So capital never disperses?
No, it moves, but it doesn't leave. It circulates. And at every point of circulation, value is extracted.
This kind of system should create friction. Separate nature of businesses, separate interests. So where's the conflict?
It was designed out.
How?
Not through force, through agreement. Leading banking houses developed an understanding. One firm would not attempt to take a client from another. If a corporation was already being financed by a particular banker, no rival would offer better terms.
That's not ethics.
No, it's insulation. They called it professional ethics. But in practice, it eliminated competition from the supply of capital. And once capital is controlled, everything that depends on it follows.
So prices, terms, access
Are no longer determined by the market. They're set by agreement. And the most dangerous part is that nothing appears wrong.
If capital is controlled, so has to be its price.
It is, and that changes everything. The cost of capital is not just a number on a contract. It enters every layer of the economy. Railroads borrow money to build and operate. Industries borrow to produce. Public services borrow to function. And when the terms of that capital are set by agreement, those costs don't stay contained. They spread. They pass through companies, into prices, into services.
So the system charges everyone for access to their own money.
A toll across the entire economy.
If competition disappears, what replaces it?
Comfort. When companies no longer fear being undercut, they stop improving. No urgency to reduce costs, no pressure to innovate, and no reason to become better. Monopoly doesn't just raise prices. It slows everything down. It freezes progress.
So the damage isn't just what people pay, it's what never gets built.
Lower costs, better systems, new innovations, they never arrive.
This system should trigger resistance. Someone should push back. Why don't they?
They do, but not for long. Start with credit. Nearly every serious business depends on it. And credit is not granted automatically. It's judged. And that judgment is rarely neutral. A businessman that aligns really well with the system is considered safe, and the one who challenges it isn't.
So resistance becomes risk.
Yes, but it carries a cost, and it doesn't stop there. Businesses need to sell, they need to buy, they need contracts, and those opportunities pass through the same network that we spoke of earlier. So people adjust. They don't fight, they don't expose, they just comply and eventually fall in line.
These individuals don't oversee a single system. They oversee dozens, so they cannot fully understand any of them.
No, they put more of their efforts into managing influence, not operations. And when decisions are made without understanding, the system doesn't optimize, it drifts.
So this is it. All this time, we thought power meant ownership. Factories, railroads, assets, but that's not what they took, is it?
No. They didn't need to own everything. They only needed to stand where decisions pass.
And once you're there, you don't compete. You decide who does.
And who doesn't.
Then what exactly is left? If capital is directed, if access is filtered, if opportunity itself flows through the same hands, what does freedom even mean inside a system like this?
It means a choice still exists, but not independently.
All this capital, where does it originate?
From people. Deposits, insurance premiums, savings, then collected, pooled, redirected.
And returned?
Not in proportion. The system doesn't just use capital, it determines who it reaches.
So this is the only way capital can function?
No. There are structures that don't rely on central intermediaries where capital moves directly between participants. No layered control, no embedded extraction.
And they work?
Yes, they do. On a different scale, but with a different outcome.
It was never a question of who owned the system, but who guided it. What appeared as competition was often coordination. What appeared as independence was frequently connection. And what appeared as freedom operated within boundaries few could see.
I don't think it was ever hidden.
No. They just stopped noticing it.
All right, take care.
You too.
And what appeared as inevitability was often structure. Because once every path depends on the same structure, leaving it is no longer a choice. The system did not need to announce its control. It only needed to become essential. But essential is not the same as irreplaceable. Because systems like this don't run on ownership alone. They run on access. And the money that drives it all was never just theirs.